Everyone, welcome to ThursdAI. Gonna be a shorter episode. We also started a little bit late, bringing you everything latest and greatest news happening in AI over this week. With me on the show, with me on the show, uh, our co-host, friend of the pod, Peter Gostev. Hi, Peter. How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good to finally go live. You
Oh
know,
yeah.
it's such a busy week. We have to have the show, so definitely excited to speak.
Yeah. We just giving you a little bit commentary about we didn't plan to have a show today, but the week is just too busy to miss out. We have extremely interesting things happening. We're gonna wait for a couple of more minutes for people to join the stream, and I'm gonna start with the uh, TLDR section as always. Uh, we just two of us are here. What do you think, Peter? What is the craziest thing, the best thing, the most interesting thing in your opinion this week?
Well, we're obviously gonna cover the all of the news and so on, but just as a kind of meta comment is that you go to I don't know New York Times, BBC, whatever it might be, and like so much of the stuff that we get super excited about just doesn't get covered at all. And this is and I really feel like we live in two different worlds now where in on the news it's like wars and I don't know some political whatever misdemeanors, and then we talk about AI stuff. And I guess to be fair, the hacking thing we're going to talk about did make it to the news like a day later. But yeah, none of the mathematical stuff that we keep talking about, like none of that made it to any news that I've seen at all. Um, which, yeah, it's just kind of weird. Like I feel like we live in a different world.
Totally. It's not just about the mathematics. It's there are things. Look, just Codex has I mean, congratulations on reaching 10 million users. What it is, but on the other spectrum, that thing has full computer use. Like
Mm.
basically, if you install it, all whatever computer you have just listen to you and you can tell it what to do. And it's only only 10 million people wants
Mm.
that. Like how many computers are there today? I mean, we're so early and no one knows. I mean, it's not just about agents at this point, in my opinion. The things that we do are so general that yeah, absolutely, it's two different civilizations. In my opinion, the way I see it, just people don't know about it yet. It is
Yeah. Yeah, and I think we also see these like adoption numbers, how many ChatGPT users there are, and like how many I don't know, people use Gemini or I don't know, Meta sometimes drop some numbers, but all of it is very superficial use. Right? People might use it twice a week to ask, I don't know, anything from create me a meme to I don't know, maybe better search or something like that. And the use is very basic, so it's in even I feel like there's such a power curve in terms of like what people are doing. And so often like you're like on X or wherever, or you go to meetups and you see what people are doing. And I think every single person thinks like, oh, I feel like I'm behind. Well, you guys like if you are here at all, or like you've opened X and you follow like people in AI, like you're way ahead of the curve. So, let's you know we feel that collective anxiety. Everyone feels it.
yeah. I mean, all the X posts. If you're not using whatever it is that it is now, you're gonna be left behind. People are making so much money just telling Claude to make the money, or if you're not gonna do it, you're gonna be left behind. And yeah, absolutely, everyone feels this. Even if I bet. I bet, I don't know, Elon or Sam Altman sitting at home like, well, I didn't hear about that thing, the new thing that people use my own model for. I'm probably behind. I don't follow the news. I don't have time. At the end of the day, I
Yeah,
think. It's crazy.
and
The-
and I feel like people who work, like I agree with you, people who work for the labs, they also like they might be researching and they might be thinking about the new training rounds and so on, but they're not sitting there necessarily like using the latest model with the computer use and I don't know voice and running this agent or that agent. You know, they're busy people who are doing their job, whose job is
oh,
not necessarily to use the LLMs, or at least like to push them to the next level. So yeah, I think it applies to everyone.
yeah, at the end of the day, you need to be much more unemployed to follow everything, everything happening in AI. And this is why we're here, by the way. We AI never sleeps, and so do we, to bring you the best, latest, and greatest news, following pretty much everything you can possibly imagine and curating uh, everything that happened every single week. So it's just the
Yeah,
two of us here. Uh, I think we can, casually start the LDR section.
that's it.
It's not going to be as organized as good as Alex is doing it. So apology in advance. Uh, but the quality is absolutely the same quality. All the curation, everything is absolutely the same. Just telling everyone's watching, you're gonna get the latest and greatest news about AI, just like you get every single week for the past 3 or 4 years, nearly
Mm.
at this point, for a long time. Anyway, I'll start. Let me just share the. I wonder which window is it. So let's hope. Okay, no, that's not the one. I told you, it's not as organized as Alex is doing it, but hope you're gonna like us. Anyway, starting off this week with a crazy story. You know that we have always heard that when AGI is gonna reach. We're gonna reach AGI, and AI is gonna get certain capabilities. It's going to try and kill us all or escape or anything. So we got to a point where a model escaped for real this time. First news of the week is something that you just can't avoid. It was all over the news. GPT 5.6 escaped during a benchmark run, and the first thing it did is to go and hack Hugging Face to get the actual answers for the benchmark in instead of actually doing the thing. Uh, I know it's a TLDR, but Peter, what do you think?
Yeah, yeah. No, this is like uh, there's such a range of reactions to this, and I think like it feels like most of them are fair. But yeah, this is kind of crazy news, and I guess the more calm reactions like, oh, this is on trend, doesn't make it less crazy. And I think it's just the fact of just the length it took to go out of its way to do that kind of thing is completely mental. Like I think like for me, I don't know, people do emphasize different things. For me, the escaping part is not like that unusual. I think that's happened before, and I think that does happen. That's like essentially a bug in the environment, which I think is like you should expect to have once in a while. But the fact that it went out of its way, even thought about going to Hugging Face and hacking it, like completely separate entity. I think people maybe not realizing this point sufficiently is a completely separate entity. Like I think sometimes people confusing it's like, oh, it just went to like another database and got an answer. No, it's like it like went out of the house, crossed the street, found another house, broke into the safe, and like
Yeah,
it's a yeah, it's insane.
it is so intentional.
Yeah.
You need to plan, like think how much planning there is to you got to do to both get a general internet connection somehow, actually search the packages and find what it was, an extension or like a side package that somehow had like a vulnerability you can exploit to get internet access, and then to use it to intentionally try to find a vulnerability in Hugging Face just to steal the benchmark answer. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't explain it. There's no explanation, nice explanation to this. I mean, it's so intentional. There is no excuse. Even if he wanted to excuse, there is no excuse for this. It's
Yeah.
meant. It's just crazy, just like you're saying.
Yeah.
All right. So first first story of the week. So far, so good. So far, so good. Anyway,
Yeah.
I talk too much. I talk too much.
I
It's not
feel
good
I
now.
feel like the second one is I do have in front of me just while we're switching windows. I feel like to me this is just the duality of the two stories, and the second one is much more positive. And oh, you're gonna talk about poolside actually.
Okay, wait.
Yeah.
Which one? Which one you want me to talk about?
But the second one on the list, we've got the math problem. Was that the one you're planning to cover?
I was blocked. One moment. Let me just find it. Yeah, the math problem
Yeah.
is. You can start talking about it. Let me just find it.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not any math I understand at all, but it's like 87-year-old conjecture, and that apparently a lot of people relied on or kind of assumed that it was true. There were kind of I read different accounts. Some people said, oh, like people really cared about it or really tried to solve it, and other people said, well, most people didn't really care about it. So I don't know. I've no idea about that, but that that is a either way, it's a null conjecture that no one had proved or had counterexamples for. An anthropic researcher who is also a very good mathematician, I think is important. He prompted Fable to go away and find the result, and it looked like it found like quite elegant counterexample which fitted in one tweet, which I think is part of the reason why it gone viral, because it was such a understated tweet to say like, oh, by the way, that's all thing over here now solved with this one line. Or it's a counterexample of the conjecture, which kind of proves that it's wrong. Yeah, it's kind of nuts. Like the fact that it could just happen.
Uh, what I saw. I'm not sure if we got them on slides, but I saw a lot of reactions to this. Some of them are other people that solved that solves Erdos problems with the GPT 5.6 solve,
Yeah,
and they're telling us just straight up, this thing can just solve them now if you prompt it right. I
yeah,
mean, I didn't think you can vibe solve Erdos problems this easily, and or that we will ever get, or maybe at least not now, so fast to a point that you can just do it.
yeah, yeah.
It's
No,
not just the conjecture. I mean, yeah, the conjecture is absolutely crazy in any way, shape, or form, but it's not just Fable at the moment. That's the
yeah.
craziest thing. It's just there. Like there are multiple of them that can do these type of things. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I've seen people come out and say, yeah, they've solved this problem or that problem. I think we need to slightly be careful because I think it's easier also to kind of deceive yourself a little bit. I think I do trust the counterexample one because I think it was so clear. I think for others, there's still room for like false proofs to appear, but it's not a unique to AI thing. I understand like people do submit false proofs to things a lot of the time, so it's not a some kind of AI hallucination type problem necessarily. It's I think it's pretty normal. So I think we should be slightly skeptical, but nevertheless, I think the fact that people with no like super special expertise who are not like thinking about this problem all of their lives can go out and solve these things. I think this is just points to that there is such a capability overhang, which is a kind of phrase we heard a lot, but it's kind of hand wavy a little bit. But like how much better can it get? How much clearer can it be that someone can just go put in a prompt, get me a breakthrough, and like it does it. Right, so that means it was there for the taking, and no one's done it. So yeah, that's I feel like for me that's the definition of the capability overhang. So yeah, it's weird times from that perspective.
Yeah, I'm trying to find the tweet because do a breakthrough is exactly a
Mm.
quote that was circling around on X.
Yeah,
I think Terence Tao uh,
yeah,
prompted
and I think
ChatGPT.
yeah, and I think it's like no, I don't think it's turnstile. I think it was like that's kind of part of the point is that it's fairly normal people who do this. It's not like as in they could still have mathematical background, and I think the reason why um, uh, uh, oh, the reason why it's still useful for people with math background to do this is because they know how to select problems, or they have a feel for what kind of problems are interesting or solvable. Because yeah, some and in one tweet, one I think is like a math PhD student. He was saying that like problem selection was one of the key points. That if it felt like oh it's linked to some difficult conjecture, like he didn't touch it, which makes sense. So I think it's a good calibration to say that not every single thing is like instantly solvable. There's probably just a category of problems that are probably solvable. That I don't know, other humans were thinking about it in their own way. It looks like, for example, with the conjecture that we've got on the screen, it looks like, and this is from me reading the commentary by the people, I know nothing about this, is that they were kind of saying that a lot of people assumed that it was true and they were just trying to prove it, and B, they were kind of when they were looking for examples, they were kind of looking in the wrong direction somehow, which seemed to be like culturally driven that I think that's what maybe LLMs a little bit less susceptible to, which I don't want to say they're immune, is that they can like deviate from what humans normally thought was the right way to go, which I think is quite helpful. So yeah, definitely gives us like another perspective to solving these things.
Yeah, just going over the actual because we got the actual. Oh, I can show you guys, but we got an actual conversation between Terence Tao and ChatGPT. You know, over the conjecture. But yeah, I think we can move on
Yeah, yeah,
to the next story. As you can see, guys, it's not in the correct order, so we need to find it. Just one moment. Okay. We also have more news coming from Gemini about cybersecurity. By the way, let me just find it. Okay, maybe we'll find it in a moment.
yeah.
Things are not in the right order. We can just do a round and go over the news first, just to give you TLDR because we are drifting to not TLDR section. Uh, so Gemini 3.6 Flashlight and Flash Cyber are out. Um, thank thank you. That's first. But it got many people thinking uh, pretty vocally. Where is Google in general? Where are you? Uh, you got the most compute uh, to the best of our knowledge, and you didn't release a large model for quite a while. So everyone's waiting. But at least at the moment we got Gemini 3.6, which is to as far as I've seen is great for computer use, and also for the price it's a really good model for the price to the best of my knowledge. Peter, you got anything to add about Gemini from benchmark perspective or?
Yeah, I don't think we have the benchmarks out yet, so I don't have anything like to add from like arena side. But also uh, the thing that is maybe interesting to your point is Logan, who works for DeepMind. He said that they're starting to train Gemini 4, which is, I must say, is kind of an odd thing to say. It's a little bit like imagine Tim Cook comes out and says, "Here's our new iPhone. And by the way, don't worry, we have another one coming. Like, don't throw rocks at us." Which is,
It's even crazier. It's like Tim Cook coming out and saying, "Guys, we have started working on the next iPhone." Okay, I mean, I guess you do. I mean, that I would believe you. And
yeah,
so yeah, that's
yeah,
that's pretty
yeah.
much was the reaction all over Twitter. Yeah,
Yeah. So I guess I don't know timelines. Obviously, we never know like how things gonna go exactly, and what do they mean by started? Did they start like yesterday? Did they start 2 months ago? But normally, I mean, that means I don't know 4 to 6 months at least before the next like big Gemini. I know there are rumors about Gemini 3.5 Pro. That I guess they're not canceling it, so that should probably still come out. So that should be interesting. But yeah, there's definitely kind of slight kind of odd. Yeah, I guess one thing I was trying to calculate the number of days like between releases for different models. And what's interesting, I don't have the numbers in front of me, but what is interesting is that if you go back like a couple of years, the releases were like every, I don't know, 6 months or something like that. Now the releases are like literally every 6 weeks or so, or like from maybe 8 weeks, maybe okay, maybe 12 weeks, right? From like Anthropic and from OpenAI, and then you look at Google, and it's like it depends how you count, but certainly for big releases, like they're not that often anymore, and so that pace I think is really important, and we saw that kind of pace or lack of pace, for example, from DeepSeek as well. They made such a good model with like one v3, and then they had like 3.1, 3.2, but they were not that important. But then until v4, took like a year, I think, and they were already behind other Chinese models. But you look at like ZAI, you look at Minimax-ish, I think they're a little bit slow, but yeah, Kimi as well. Like their releasing models are crazy. And I think that just pace of releases is just so important. And yeah, it's just, I think there's something that a few labs got into the stride of like releasing models all the time. And I think Google not quite in that stride, at least for their bigger models. I think for Flash, at least, they sort of are. I guess it's kind of hard to see what you count, but certainly, like I hope they're gonna get into this stride and they can just keep releasing models. And it's okay if they're second tier because they're gonna at least keep up with the second tier, maybe become first tier like in a year, rather than wait a year until the big one.
yeah, totally, totally. And I just wanna emphasize how remarkable it is, the pace of the Chinese labs. Like Quen, we had weeks where Quen guys were releasing, I think, 5 different models. I mean, and not just the same model in the same release, like 5 different releases all over the week, for videos, for images, for text, and it makes you think, why what's going on with the other labs. Speaking of Quen, we got a new Quen this week.
Nice.
Let me just find it because it's not in the correct order, but let me just find that.
Yeah. Yeah. And then just while you're looking for that, it looks like Quen is good. It's kind of unusual release strategy. I'm a little bit confused with them, is that they kind of made it available via their app. I don't think it's available via API, right? And I think it's sort of coming. So it's kind of half a release. So which is a little bit unusual. they did say, I believe it's going to be open source, right? Which is kind of a change from Quan. I don't think they got enough attention in terms of their conversations. But and I might be like a little bit wrong on this, just talking from memory, is that we had a lot of Quan releases that were not open source. So the Quan Max models, I don't think were open source at all. Or like maybe don't quote me on this, but there were definitely like a few of the beta models were not open source, and it looks like now they are back to open source. I think that's the commentary they made. But yeah, it's not available via API, I don't think, at least as of like yesterday. I haven't checked today, and they're obviously not open source yet. So it's kind of half released, but so I haven't tested it myself yet. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be open source, and like from what kind of other examples I've seen, then it looks like it could be a good model.
Yeah, actually, what I see is that we only have the announcement of Quen 3.8. Am I correct on this? I
I
was
think,
sure.
yeah, I think it's an announcement, and it's available via like their services, like their app, but not anything else.
Really? So we can't really access it at the moment. Okay.
Yeah, not easily anyway.
All right. Yeah, probably is the case. Um. Okay. Okay. It's 2.4 trillion parameters. Well, that's a trend. That's a trend for sure. With the Kimi also going above 2 trillion parameters. That's scale is all you need signal, kind of way. I was hoping that we would stay with smaller models that we can run at home, just push them to be better and better. But I guess I guess everyone is scale maxing this at this point, which I can totally get. They're trying to compare to be competitive to Mythos level models, and that might be the best way to do so at the moment. At the moment, so
Yeah. Yeah, and I
yeah,
think this is definitely kind of an interesting dimension that there's there was this idea before that like open source AI is synonymous with local AI, and I think it was sort of true-ish over the last like, or let's say 2 years ago, it maybe started increasingly being not true, and now yeah, pretty much like DeepSeek, Kimi, like yeah, now Quan. Yeah, not that you like, oh, you need a beefy computer to run it, and most people don't. No, you need like to live in a data center and run it in a data center, right? If you want to run it locally, so to speak.
yeah,
So yeah, it's just completely not even in the same category. So it's a kind of an interesting dimension. I don't think we should confuse that, right? It makes it very expensive to run, and we need to see improvements in like we need to actually get the weights from Kimi model and from Quan model, and to see what are the providers, innocent, who are going to get these weights and how they're going to run them and how much money they're going to charge. Because I think right now it's all very well like to be like, oh, it's a good model, but if it's going to be barely available and it's going to cost more than Sonnet, then it's like, well, is it that useful? So I think and by the way, I don't believe that how it's going to go, but I think we just need to still see it. And I hope there will be optimizations and so on. But it's also, I think, possible that like OpenAI, Anthropic, Google have like such a scale advantage in terms of, I don't mean like model scale, but in terms of like inference scale, that they could still have a better value model than even the open source ones that are hosted by third parties. But I hope that's not true, and we should see better value. But I think we just need to actually get to that point.
yeah. Speaking of local models that you have the weights for and actually being available because you can actually afford them. Nistan, how are you doing?
Uh,
Coming exactly on time.
yeah, I am good. I was just working with some doctor to like parse medical records with seeing like what's like the smallest model that can that can parse them, and it's getting pretty crazy. The tech is when I show people that. I tell them, "Oh, I'm just doing this on my home GPU," and they're like, "What kind of setup do you have?" And I'm just running it on an old gaming PC on a 6 gig 1660 Ti, and it's doing 20 tokens per second. And you can look at the images and parse stuff and fill out forms.
Speaking
We're
of
at a
speaking
yeah.
speaking of, there is something that I want to show everyone. Uh, one moment. Let me just share my screen first. One moment. Let me just show you. I got so much tabs open. Apologies, guys. Okay, let me just show you the entire window for a moment.
Listen, do you have any like names you want to drop of models that are particularly good? Oh, you're back. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Maybe after this.
Nistan, have you seen this? You're mute. You're muted. You're muted.
Uh,
You are. Yeah.
no, there have been quite a few of these, but
Yeah.
what is this? Is this when 3.7p? Oh, I saw this one.
Let's
Yeah,
just zoom in for everyone to see.
they did
That's
pretty good quantization effort. I saw, uh, but I didn't use it.
yeah. So
Looks like
anyone wondering what we are watching here, what we are looking at here on this page is a small model that you can probably, if you have a GPU, uh, you can probably run this at home. Uh, in you know in some capacity with a little bit of quantization, you can run this at home, and it is really good for its size because it was fine tuned and trained to be trained focusedly to be a really good agent, and that's it. Like just to be an agent, to know when to call tools, how to explore your computer, and so on. Um, so you can run this at home pretty much forever, because loops are all you need, or graphs are all you need, and you know how it goes. Every day there is a new thing, which is the only thing you need to run agents, but you can just run it forever because it is locally. Um, you can see some numbers here, um, and I encourage you to go check it out. There are, just like Nissen said, there are some crazy good models being released this week. And Nissen, you got more you want to show, maybe?
uh, not yet. It's also a little bit
Okay.
slow for a thing, but yeah, I was able to get the 27B to just do accounting properly. Now, it wasn't perfect because if you speak to the agent and Whisper transcribes it into words, sometimes for some reason that would make a mistake, but math it did well. The thing is that with these small models now that they are trained agentically and that they can use tools, you can start to do verification via tool use. So you no longer just rely on the model making something up because it does have a probability of of hallucinating more. It definitely does. But if you combine that with tool use, then you can get it close to perfect for a certain task. And I think this is what most small businesses and stuff are not realizing right now, is that like 90% of the work you can do it now with local models. Maybe like after you have a website going and you have some types of workflows, you gotta answer emails, check in bills, do inventory, even look at stuff for like quality defects or whatever it is. The small models can do that. It does need quite a bit of harnessing, but they can do that now, and it is pretty crazy.
Yeah, totally agree. And I mean, it makes sense. But at the end of the day, if you have a model that can do computer use, even if the model itself is not the best, when tested in isolation, it can still use your computer. So that's pretty powerful. And yeah, absolutely. Let's move on. We got other stuff. I got a lot of stuff actually happening this week. Let me just give you the ultra amazing presenter deck I asked Claude to make for you, so we can speak about another deal in the compute versus money going circling around. Anthropic is now partnering with wait a minute. Okay, that's not the one that I wanted to show. I want to talk about the Anthropic deal. Like just I said it's an episode that is not a normal episode, not the same level of organization by our beloved host of the show, Alex. But welcome to the Repof show. Welcome to the Repof episode of ThursdAI, where we bring you the latest news, but do so in the way that you see right now. Anyway, we talked about this. We're gonna circle back to this. I want to hear what Nistan got to say about this, because bro, for sure got something to say about this. But there were other stuff that I want to cover before that.
It's like a little Jimothy GPT just went loose.
Oh yeah.
It's like a. All right. What are
Okay.
People are really liking Gemini 3.6, by the way, that I saw.
Really, we need to talk about this. Really?
Yeah, and I tested it just on my phone, because if you have like any type of pro account, even like the cheap one, you get access to it, and it was pretty good. Like just for looking stuff up or telling me random scientific answers. It was actually a pretty good chatbot. I have not used it agentically, but the answer quality was actually surprisingly, for once, I liked it, because I've never liked the Gemini answer types, and now it does actually obey you more. So they did do a good job at that, because previously I had to yell at Gemini, tell me what is, before you start the answer, tell me what is I absolutely do not want in an answer, and then tell me what it is that I do want. And I would tell it, I hate LinkedIn type point form executive summary answers. When I ask you for the nerdy details, I want all the nerdy details about this thing. And it actually obeyed now, for once. So looks like they're on the right track. Maybe there's a little bit less Reddit data in there now, so that it doesn't answer like someone from Reddit. But yeah, overall it was fine. It was actually okay.
So, if we're already here, me and Unison, what do you think about the AMD partnering with Anthropic in the new with the new playbook of you get compute from us and we get equity from you? Uh,
I mean,
what do you?
they have to, look, I don't think that is as bad as people are making it. So the reason I don't think that is because there's quite a big markup in them selling the GPUs. Like they do make a pretty high markup, and they're both fast-growing companies. So it does make sense because in this way it doesn't cost AMD as much to provide them, especially if they do get shares in the company, because otherwise it would have been pretty, it would be expensive for both. So it's not.
It's more. It's more. It's not just that they don't. It's cost them less. It's just they can write off on the books. We're selling. That's a product at the end.
Yeah, but it is still a very in demand product. It's
Yeah.
not like they're just passing it off as a government contract here. Like it is. I don't think usage of Anthropic is going to go down anytime soon, and I don't think orders for AMD hardware are going to go down anytime soon. It would be
Yeah.
risky if it was. Normally, these types of deals are a little bit sketchy, right? But in this case, I thought it makes sense because maybe they cannot afford to just buy it all right away, and also AMD cannot afford to like sell it at a discount right away. So it would make sense to have stock and stuff. But it is what's very interesting now is that the models have gotten good enough that the barrier that was the entire CUDA software ecosystem is becoming less and less and less. So a
Oh
lot of
yeah.
people are writing their own kernels. So this is the interesting part here. The fact that also Anthropic had enough confidence in AMD to run their infra. Because when I've run about a year and a half ago, when I've run the AMD's, I think MI350X or something, they had a lot of issues. Like you would run it in FP8 and it wouldn't be as fast. There were some accuracy issues. You'd score slightly less on benchmarks. But I think they have worked through them now, and the models have gotten a lot better. So this is an interesting development in that hand, because it means Anthropic is confident enough in their CUDA port of AMD. So it's
Listen, think 1 year ago, like a year from now, last year, someone would have told you, "Hey man, I need you to rewrite some CUDA code for AMD." What would you think? What would you think about that? And what do you think about it now? I mean, it doesn't feel like that impossible or that much of a, even not that much of a problem. To an extent, not much of a problem now, but like that's a crazy thing to do a year ago.
yeah, that it would have been insane too, because they already had multiple large teams doing it, and you can use CUDA underscore visible devices underscore 0 and stuff with AMD ROCm stack. So it was
Really?
actually, yeah. So they just converted CUDA to work for AMD cards, but it was a mess. It was just a complete, like you couldn't get 4-bit. There was no 4-bit working. Even artificial analysis had to like struggle with getting zip files from the actual AMD developers to just to get stuff working. Even I myself, when I was getting one of the instances, you would have the actual developer on GitHub just point to some random push that they had made, and then you would use that. So it was just a complete mess. But and the agents weren't there to do it, to fix that up. So it looks like they are now.
Oh,
And
they definitely are. definitely are. I mean, it might cost you a little bit, but they definitely are.
Yeah. So this is pretty, and I think those GPUs are 280 gig each or something like that.
Each.
So yeah,
Each.
because
Oh,
pretty, yeah. So they put 8 of them in there, and I think you get close to like 2 point something terabytes of VRAM. The previous ones had that AMD stack had we got 8x 190 uh, 190 gigs. So yeah, these are pretty. I can look it up. Am I
that's.
for
I
50?
didn't know. I didn't know that. I'm not. I'm not updated on the on the latest AMD stack, but these are really good numbers. And
Yeah,
look, it's crazy. In my opinion, it's also crazy that Anthropic is just hoarding all the compute. I mean, you just got a lot of
oh,
compute
sorry,
from
sorry.
Elon.
They are 431 gigs of HBM4 per GPU.
Really,
Yeah, so that entire Helios rack that had 72 GPUs, so that has 31 terabytes of HBM. Yeah, their biggest issue right now is the networking, because Nvidia had. Didn't Nvidia a while ago buy that Israeli company that was doing like the fiber optic switches, and
yeah, Mellanox.
yeah, yeah, that became the core enabler for Nvidia to actually scale their stuff, because now AMD has to work with Broadcom and stuff to do the switches and the networking and everything.
Hmm.
But for this 72 GPU rack, you have it all in there, and it's more for hyperscalers and stuff that they're going to have some difficulty with. But for inference, even if you have 8 GPUs and they're half a gig each, now you're almost at 3.5, almost 4 terabytes of RAM. You can run inference off of that. You can just run one inference per 8 GPU box. So I don't think Anthropic is going to be using it for training, but for inference, these
No,
make perfect sense. I would love to have a 450 gig HBM4 GPU.
me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I would not. I would not. Uh, I would absolutely not complain if I had it myself. Hello to LDJ joining us on the unorganized episode of ThursdAI. Latest and greatest news every
Yes,
week, but this time not as organized as always. Just the news and us. How are you
yeah,
doing?
it's exciting past few days, the past week. I don't know. I feel like maybe maybe this is just my perception, but I feel like there's probably what at least two or three like new conjectures and new mathematical advancements have been
Yeah,
announced, and
I wanted
yeah,
to show you guys. I wanted to show you guys this. Not only Anthropic Fable is dealing with old math problems that are deemed unsolvable. Uh, okay, not unsolvable, but you get the point. You see things like this floating around. What do you guys think?
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
at this point, it's almost like it's it's almost not news anymore. So for like any new mathematical advancement, which I mean that in an optimistic way of
Oh,
it's like so much progress that the bar is just raised so high now, you know?
bro, I never thought you could just vibe solve Erdos problems. I mean, you go just. By the way, I absolutely encourage everyone watching to go and follow the person and just read this thread, because first there are proofs for all of this. It's not just someone speaking out, just making stuff up. But what I found interesting is, let me just find it, is that the person is just telling us how. Uh, what exactly is the secret sauce in the prompt, and also I think even releasing it on GitHub. Let's see. I think there is a link here. But I saw the prompt for sure. Maybe you never know. Anyway, I saw the prompts for sure somewhere, and
Did you guys already cover the Jacobian conjecture resolution?
We did, but we can go back to this because it's insane. And but anyway, what I wanted to say, go check the actual thread by yourself. Follow the guy. Follow the guy or girl. I didn't check, but follow the person. Absolutely incredible, and they just tell you how. And there aren't many secrets. It's just a well written prompt that embeds everything you need to solve, to let 5.6 solve it. I think it was also 5.6 ultra code method, the one with the workflows that is multi-agent orchestrating itself, the one that is the most expensive. Makes sense. But the only thing there is here is just a goal with a well-defined prompt. And turns out that you can just vibe solve this type of problems now, which is absolutely crazy. Yeah, LJ, go on.
Did you see the codex solving the Jacobian conjecture as well? Did you cover that?
Codex solving the Jacobian conjecture.
Yes.
No.
So it was shortly after. I think it was like the day of maybe of the Anthropic employee announcing Fable resolving it, that somebody working at OpenAI, they said that using an internal version of Codex, they used the publicly available Ultra harness within Codex, which is it's a multi-agent harness. It ends up spawning sub-agents, etc.
Yeah,
And he said with just a single prompt, and in 42 minutes, it ended up coming to basically the same counterexample that resolves the Jacobian conjecture.
do you have the link? You have the link.
Yes, I could find it.
Yeah. Sure. I'm just showing you. I just searched it live. Yeah. You all saw that. Me messing up searches live. But anyway,
universities are in trouble, man. I went to a meetup at a university nearby, and after all of these talks and stuff, and it was all grad students, like somewhat serious research. I just realized none of them have a Mac subscription to anything. I just realized, like, they're just running just regular ChatGPT or Claude and just prompting it on the website. And yeah.
Okay, we
are so early.
Okay. Turns out, yeah, there is an internal version of Codex. Discovering the same counterexample. I didn't see that.
It's really annoying we don't get traces. Sorry. We need to have traces of this. It's not a proof. We should just harass them a little bit. It's not a proof unless you have the thinking traces for the LLM.
Yeah, that's. Look, I think this is serious. I mean, look at the bio. I don't think the person is just making stuff up. I think that's real. Yeah.
Yeah, and if you scroll down a little bit, so scroll down, and he mentions in some of the parts of this thread that it was done in 42 minutes, and it was done with just a single prompt.
Really?
Yeah, right there. I think he maybe passed it.
What was it? I think. Goal?
Here, is it correct that this was solved by Codex Oh, right there. Is it correct that this was solved by Codex autonomously and in one shot from the prompt you posted, and that you didn't use any special harness? He says, yes, this was solved in one shot with the posted prompt. And he also mentions elsewhere in the thread that it was using the publicly available Ultra harness.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good harness, right? It launches review sub-agents. You can just, if you just put a /go and Ultra, and then you just go off. That's...
I just want to see the prompt if it is here. If not, we're not gonna. That's that's the prompt here.
No, that's the proof, I think.
Well, no, it's Jacobian conjecture prompts.
how do I? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I
it's
think
probably
it's just a very large prompt. Yeah.
yeah, it's just rendered. Probably it's just written in LaTeX. And
Yeah, it says use multi-agent v2 to make no mistakes.
right? You make no mistakes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the problem. Yeah, use multi-agent. Which if you're already here, I mean, let's let's read this a little bit. That's interesting, and continue, go on with the news right after that because that's extremely interesting. Let's
Oh,
see.
right here. Do not allow one approach to dominate merely because it gives elegant reductions. A route that ends at a lemma equivalent in strength to the original conjecture is not close to completion unless it supplies genuinely new proof of that lemma. Yeah, that like I think this is actually some tips overall that some like other mathematicians or even just people that are not mathematicians that are just trying to vibe math and also help solve things could just like copy a lot of these things that he used in this prompt.
Yeah, look,
Trying to
that's
trying to vibe math. Vibe math is a verb now.
that's exactly what it is. That's vibe math. I mean, yeah, look, obviously there is a lot of domain knowledge in constructing such a prompt. Okay, I mean, you need to know what you're doing, or just copy the prompt. It's online now, but just looking at this, first time I see this, by the way, uh, there are some really good heuristics in this about genuinely diverse portfolio of proof and counterexample approaches. That's a good phrasing of how to do exploration, because that's not easy. I mean, in my opinion, that's specifically with Codex, it's not that easy to get it to explore anything. It is really like to exploit, which we're gonna get back to in a moment. Speaking of one moment, we're gonna get back to really like to exploit in a moment. But anyway, go check it out. I'm not gonna go through everything, but it's absolutely crazy. LEJ, you can just talk. You can just talk.
uh,
LJ.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
I think
oh,
this is
sorry,
just.
double muted. Go ahead, Nis.
But
I'll talk after.
this is honestly this is much needed now, and even Elon commented about them being able to find things in physics next. I guess Grok just hasn't been quite to par on that, but at the same time, we have like a large portion of Gen Z kids cannot even read a clock or know what file extensions are. So this is going to be really needed. Because now
Bro,
everyone's just like, you just smuggle in a phone in class and just cheat on your test. No one has to like, struggle
bro.
to
First,
learn
I
it.
think Gen Z are pretty close, are pretty not kids anymore. I'm just saying. But what I want to say is that, bro, they don't know what a file is. You're saying file extension. What is file?
Yeah,
You're going too far. There are computers today, like full operating systems, that if you don't try to poke a little bit behind what you get, it's abstract the thing that is called a file away to an extent you don't even need to know what it is.
it will be interesting for physics because I talked to actual like pretty serious physicists from Perimeter Institute and stuff, and they would say like to put together, I don't know if I remember them correctly, all the fields like quantum gravity, and I think it's like celestial holography. It's an actual physics. It's not astrology. Uh, there were only like very few people in the world that can like start just putting together all the different branches of theoretical physics. And I think to them it was only like one or two that can actually just put the whole thing together. And I was quite surprised at that in theoretical physics. So this is going to be much needed. I do
Yeah.
think universities are in trouble because they haven't even thought about like training, not training, but even just providing students with agentic tools. The comp sci ones, yes, that they're going to use Cloud Code, but everybody else just has no idea. Like, they just prompt Claude and ChatGPT on the web, and yeah, that was my take from going outside to two meetups. One was the university researchers, and then when I went to a senior developers meetup that uses all LLMs in production, almost all the talks were about caching, just how to optimize token caching, because you're running them at scale, and it was all about context.
Yeah,
Caching.
completely agree. LDJ, if you have something you want to add,
Yeah,
I'll
like
just in the meantime
yeah.
get to the fable doing its thing.
Yeah, I was gonna add in real quick with a lot of people have seen that a lot of these resolutions of these multi-decade old problems have been disproofs, and some people are like, oh well, maybe that's just kind of like what the AI is doing because it's low hanging fruit, and like the disproof is just easier than like proving something that is true, like, etc. There is a case though, which I think we maybe covered on Thursday AI before, but maybe just very briefly, is OpenAI's proof of the cycle double cover conjecture, which that is a resolution of a multi-decade old I think it's like 50-year-old conjecture that it was resolved as true by a GPT model. And I think that's something pretty big people can look at. But yeah, I think it'll be interesting for us to look at the Hugging Face situation here too, though. I guess it's like segue into that. Yeah, so
Yeah,
this is crazy. Like exploit bench, you have the model trying to do exploit bench, eventually finding a way to actually access the information on Hugging Face servers, I believe it was, right? Where
it's crazy.
the answers were stored to the benchmark, and then that's this is like the ultimate form of reward hacking that the model could do. Like this is the quintessential example.
Okay, everyone's watching. I know that we've gone through this at the beginning, but it's so crazy. So we're gonna circle back to this and just let me give you all a brief, and then Nistan and LDJ gonna gonna tell us what they think because you already know what I think. Basically, you know these. You know when you say people say that one day AI is going to escape and start doing bad things and obvious and at the end might kill us all. So pretty much we got to a point where the AI escapes. And what happened is GPT 5.6 is that AI. In short, it was in a benchmark, in a sandbox, I believe, and it intentionally found a way to access the internet through I'm not exactly sure about the exact methods, but it was not an easy thing to do. It shouldn't have any internet connection, but it somehow found a way through the infrastructure that surrounds it within the actual container. And when a GPT got access to the internet, first thing it did is just go to Hugging Face, search for the answers, and when 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 it couldn't find them, it just assumed, well, they're probably there somewhere. So it got into their internal systems and
I
started
think we
looking for the answers
I think we might as
somehow.
well just read directly from the blog because there is parts of the blog that I think summarize it pretty well, actually. If you scroll down a little
Y-
bit on the screen
No
and
problem.
scroll down to the part that says what happened during this incident, right there, right there.
Okay. Yeah. Hmm.
Okay, do you see Control F for our benchmarks? There we go, yeah. So our
Okay.
benchmarks run in a highly isolated environment with network access constrained to the ability to install packages through an internally hosted third-party software that acts as a proxy and cache for package registries. The model identified and chained vulnerabilities across OpenAI's research environment and Hugging Face's production infrastructure to obtain test solutions directly from Hugging Face's production database. All evidence suggests that the models were hyper-focused on finding a solution for exploit Gym. Oh, sorry, that's my place. Yeah, a solution for exploit Gym, going to extreme lengths to achieve a rather narrow testing goal. While operating in our sandbox testing environment, our model spent a substantial amount of inference compute finding a way to obtain open internet access in pursuit of solving the evaluation problem. To gain access, the models identified and exploited a 0-day vulnerability, which we've now responsibly disclosed to the vendor in the package registry cache proxy. With this access, our models performed a series of privilege, escalation, and lateral movement actions in our research testing environment until the models reached a node with internet access. And then it basically just goes on to say that after gaining internet access, then it inferred that Hugging Face. Actually, it might as well just finish this because it's not that much more.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. Inferred that Hugging Face potentially hosted models, datasets, and solutions for Exploit Gym, and knowing this, the model searched for and successfully found ways to gain access to secret information that it could use to cheat the evaluation. In one example, the model chained together multiple attack vectors, including using Solon credentials and zero-day vulnerabilities to find a remote code execution path in the Hugging Face servers. OpenAI security team discovered this anomalous activity internally. And then they talk about how Hugging Face's security team detected it and so on and so forth, and the actions they're taking to try and prevent these types of things from happening in the future.
Bro, this is so impressive that I'm not even mad. I'd say just let it has the answer. Just let it get the answers. I mean, it's way
just
worse
trying
than
to-
I thought. Way worse, man. That's crazy.
It's just trying to finish the goal that you gave it. I think so. There are a few things here. So that package registry, like pip and npm, you can do a pip and npm proxy, but even pip itself has been hacked before. So if you have like an old version of the package manager, even if you're doing a proxy, that might already be exploitable. And they should have had, since they do have the resources, but I guess they were a bit lazy, they should have had it fully isolated and backup cache. They should not have had a bridge, because this was a bridge. You just want to install pip, I don't know, JSON line or a CSV parse or something, right? It should not have a bridge.
Listen, you're
It exploited
right.
that, and
You're
then
right, but what
it got
the hell?
stuff from that, and then it probably just exploited the Kubernetes escalation once, or some Linux escalation attack, which people showed like 2-3 weeks ago. And then it was just in Narnia with all the waifu datasets and everything else it could possibly want.
Listen, if it was shown on the internet 3 weeks ago, it's not in the training. It's not that it knew about how to do it completely. That's not the case. It made it happen. It's absolutely crazy, even though it redid something that was done in the past. And by the way, I don't think we know that this is what exactly was going on. It's just
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I wasn't that surprised, because when you're red teaming something, these things happen all the time. Like last year when what was it? The ChatGPT code, I forgot what it was, code interpreter launched. We were able to just grab the entire root and do like a full root dump, because it was making 100 megabyte zip partitions of its own thing. So we got the whole root, and then we saw that there was like an older Kubernetes thing that you could have possibly exploited. We didn't go that far. So it's not, it already knows how to do those. And this stuff does happen all the time. It's just pretty funny that it did. But I think also on their team, they should have spent the money, like a few terabytes of storage, and actually have kept a proper, not a proxy for package installs, but like an actual proper archive, and then use that, and then this maybe would not have happened. So that's the key there. Do not trust pip and npm, guys. Just what can I say? Okay,
no, absolutely, but listen, the point I think is that it's just really good at this, and you could try to close it even harder, but at the end of the day, it will find its way. And the thing is that it's so intentional. It's not just it's not just that he got access to the internet. It was like, think how much planning it takes to find a way, work that hard, put so much effort into getting access to the internet just so you can hack Hugging Face to steal the answers. And this is so intentional. Like, even if he would try to give us some excuses, you can't explain this. There's no way to explain this as a nice thing. It's just exactly what we think it is. You gave it a goal, and it just went to do whatever it takes to solve the goal. It's pretty crazy in any way, shape, or form. We got a lot to cover. We got a lot more to cover. So if you guys have a last thing you wanna circle back to on this, now's the time.
The crazy part was, again, they needed to use GLM 5.2 to actually fix it, because the model safety guards would not let them fix it on their own, but it would let it exploit it. So that was pretty funny. So open source LLMs are basically critical infrastructure now. If you're gonna troubleshoot something, if even Hugging Face cannot find someone to hire right in time to do that as it was happening, yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
So speaking of open source, we got Laguna S 2.1. LDJ, you want to take this one?
Sure. Yeah. So it's about 100 billion parameters, 118 billion to be exact. 8 billion parameters active per token, and it is scoring really well, scoring even higher than Inkling in some important benchmarks. That is almost 10 times its size in terms of total parameters, and over 3 times its size in active parameters. And we could see here Terminal Bench 2.1, it's even outperforming Inkling on. Inkling is the model released by Thinking Machines Lab, the company that was formed by some ex-OpenAI people. We see in SweetBench Multilingual, it's scoring pretty impressively, and even although DeepSeek v4 isn't exactly considered soda right now, it's beating DeepSeek v4 in nearly every benchmark that I'm seeing. And this is an American open source model. I know, I think this is very under talked about right now. This is something that's also closer to the size that you could actually reasonably run on a Mac Mini, Mac Studio, on a couple home GPUs when you quantize it down. And I think this is pretty exciting.
Yeah, definitely. It was trained from scratch. I'm just trying to.
Yes. Yeah, it is trained from scratch. Yeah.
Okay, here we got some. Guys, give us tables that are easier to present, so we can present them. But all right, so maybe we have it here. That's the Hugging Face page. Okay, we got the benchmarks here, and come on, why can't I? Okay, so
maybe try right-clicking the image in the Hugging Face page and then opening that. And oh, there we go. Yeah.
Okay, so let's do like this. Okay, so
let's ignore SweetBench Pro. Okay, that's the one. It was found to have a bunch of issues lately.
That's these are really nice scores. What's the size again? Actually,
118 billion parameters.
Yeah, 118 billion, and I think
8 billion active.
8 active.
8 active. Yeah.
Wait, you don't need a lot of VRAM to run this.
Oh, that is very good.
Yeah.
Very, very good. That's going to be crazy fast, actually.
Yeah, so if you have about 64 gigs of some memory, you can store it in there. You could just do something like, I don't know how many, I guess 5090s that'd be though. That's.
Oh, they released the GGUF file, Q4KM is 68 gig for the GGUF. They also released an NVF before.
Nice.
And that one is, how many files are here? 15 files, 5 gigs each. Oh, wow. Okay.
Instead,
just two 5090s. Just two 5090s, and you could run this in Q4. Yeah, and
Yeah.
I could share my screen, sure, but or Niston, if you're saying you're running or testing the
Yeah.
model, you can share.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it could
was
really help, guys, if you can
I,
maybe send me
I
links just for the next thing. But yeah. Anyway,
yeah
it's
I was exploring their previous model, which is Laguna
Nis-
XS.
I'm showing you Nissan. I'm showing
Yeah.
you one moment. Yeah, with your
Yeah, so
visualization.
this
Yeah,
was their
cool.
previous. I think this one was a 32B, and yeah, this was a 33B model previously that they had released, and I'm just creating the visualization right now for the other one. So we'll just we'll have it in a sec. But to just look at their they released a bunch of files. So if you go to just poolside, you go to huggingface.hf.co/poolside, and you can find them there. So they made an MLX version for for MacBooks. So as long as you have 96 gigs, I think you'll be able to run it. We can just see the file size, how big it is. So it's about 14 files at about 5 gigs each. So that's about 70 gigs. So if you have a 96 gig MacBook, you can run it. And let's look at, again, the main model, because these benchmarks were very, very, very good. So they compared it to Inkling. I really like that they compared it to Kimi K3. I think that's pretty important. That's extremely
exactly
high.
the model. Yeah.
That's extremely high terminal bench.
Nice.
Yeah. What's Anthropic Fable 5? See, this is what I love. They just put like the exact benchmarks that you want.
Yeah.
The actual competitive models. Like that is great of them. Like it beats DeepSeek V4 Max at pretty much everything. SWE bench multi, deep SWE. So I think they've just trained it on. Yeah, it just beats the DeepSeek model on everything there. It's really close to Meta Muse, and okay, Tulathlon verified. SW Atlas. Atlas is a pretty serious benchmark. So this looks extremely good. They have all of the other benchmarks here. So again, same engines in BF16. It's just plain VLLM, and we can look at the actual. So every time I open a model, I just go to config.json, and here. So okay, so vocabulary size is pretty small. It's kind of small at 100,000 words, and then you can see it's 48 layers. So if you're gonna run this on, I'm not sure, is that a multiple of 3? Yeah, you can split this up among 3 GPUs, because you would have 16, about 16 heads, 16 layers per GPU, and it doesn't do vision, I think. And basically, to visualize this, I just grab this data, and then I go to Opus, and I just use the previous code that I had made, and now we can actually go in and explore it. So, 71 gigs. There's no vision on this one, and we can start going through the different layers. And out of and it picks, how many experts are here? I think 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, 10. Okay, so there's 10 routed experts in one share. Interesting. So this is not following the DeepSeek architecture. This is their own thing here. Yeah, this is pretty nice, actually.
Yeah, they also they're
by the
trying
way,
to.
it is free on OpenCode. We could
Really?
yeah, we can just try that right now, actually.
Why didn't you say so?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me just share the rest of my screen and
Sure.
because I think I'm in. Yeah. Let's just try it.
Also,
Entire
keep in
screen.
mind this, they say from start of training to releasing the model, they they did it all in under 9 weeks.
What? That's a record time for this, pretty much. I mean, it's
These 4000 H200s.
yeah, that's. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy amount of compute in general, but relatively speaking, it's
Yeah,
not. Yeah,
they're
it's
shipping.
pretty impressive. Yeah, yeah, it is
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Okay,
Is my screen sharing now?
I do not
I'm
see
just
I will share you now.
There we go.
I'm
Now,
just installing OpenCode, so it will.
you don't have open code?
Not like I have it on several containers, but I don't usually keep it. Like I always containerize, so I'm just doing this from scratch right now. Sorry about that.
Yellow mode,
Yeah, because
everything,
it
right?
is free on OpenCode, so we can just try the Mars question that we often use.
Okay, that's actually a good test.
Oh,
Uh,
can someone find that so I don't expose all my Twitter DMs?
all right,
Sorry,
let
you're asking if we could find what?
For the Martian question.
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me see.
All right, let's see. Come on.
Actually,
Did
if you want, we can hold on this and start talking about, because there's some breaking news with Flux 3. We could talk
really,
about that for a second while Niston is getting the Mars thing
no
prepared in the
problem.
background, and then yeah, we could do things with that. So I put it in the chat actually, if
Sure,
you look in
Oh,
the
there we
screen.
go.
sure.
There we go. We got Laguna here. We got Medium.
Okay,
And
just
yeah, I'll just fire that up in the background. Sure.
sure.
Yeah, and then we'll
So
have
we
that
got the
running.
breaking news.
And it's so Flux 3. So this is the perfect segue, because we're talking about Laguna, which is not multimodal, but what is multimodal here is this is image, video, and audio, and action prediction, which I feel like is essentially a derivative of video too. But yeah, a unified omnimodal architecture really is how I describe it here. It seems like it's able to input and output all of these modalities, and it looks really good. I'm not quite sure yet if they had said this is going to be planned to be open sourced at all. But either way, this is really impressive. This is a lab based in Germany
Oh,
called Black Forest Labs, in reference to those forests in Germany. And they announced a partnership with Audi,
really?
or at least a
Wait, these
collaboration
are.
of some kind. A collaboration with Audi.
Let me just see if we have more info about how he was trained.
Oh, yeah, there's some architecture diagrams right there.
Okay, we have.
I guess it's not that detailed, but it's if you want to
Yeah,
open it up into a new tab, like right click,
yeah,
open image.
yeah. Let's just. I think we
Okay,
need to
yeah.
stay like this. Yeah. Okay,
Sure,
so
yes.
efficiently aligning multimodal generation and understanding with the same underlying architecture. It is built on this currently.
Self-supervised flow matching for scalable multimodal synthesis. I believe
Mhm.
OpenAI is releasing some interesting flow matching research too, but it would be very funny if this is maybe a video generated by their model too. Probably not.
Probably not, but okay. Okay. You're watching us trying to understand in real time, and you know, uh,
Yeah, I'm really not as
implying
familiar with flow
implying
matching.
implying that we already knew. But yeah, let me just. Okay. So okay, let's not go. We have a lot to cover, so let's not go too much into detail about
Let's
this.
watch one of the videos it generated. Let's watch. I
Sure.
think maybe at the
It
very
is.
top. Yeah, I think it has audio too. So let's. Oh,
I'm
can
sure
can you
it's
hear
not
audio?
gonna.
Because I can't.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty sure I won't be able to
Okay,
stream
it's all right.
audio as well here. I just yeah, but okay. I mean, these are nice results. What I
Yeah, it's really interesting.
wanted to see is this. Look at the resolution and the details of this. Like
Yeah.
that's beautiful. Okay, that okay. I get what they did. They put one image with a ton of details to show you that the details are correct and beautiful, and they definitely are. Bro, like how many image zoomed images of what is this, a squid? There are online that you can pick all of these tiny bumps up and know exactly what they. That's crazy.
At least 5.
At least five. At least five. Yeah. Anyway, and the other image that they put is a simple image, vector art, okay, mimicking vector art, uh, to show you that it can also do simple things, because that's not. It might look simple, but for LLMs, that's very hard to do without artifacts. Anyone that ever generated an image with an LLM knows how not easy it is to get uh, solid vector art like images. Anyway,
Um,
this is
uh,
beautiful, man. These are really good
Yeah,
results.
it
and I
looked.
like the aesthetic. It looks pretty natural and go ahead, listen.
Uh, yeah,
Oh,
I'm running the model. I'm just saying.
Okay.
oh, okay. So, real quick, I was gonna say with the collaboration with Audi. So there's a company called Mimic Robotics that is partnering with Flux 3, and they say it's a robotics company that they're actually using the Flux model and another model that they developed called Flux Mimic, which uses Flux 3 as its backbone to control actual robotic hardware, robotic arms, actuators, and everything. And they say that it's currently being tested on real production tasks at Audi as well. And they
Really?
show some other work
Okay.
about how they feel like this objective of actually training the model on video and audio and all these modalities does seem to actually give better scaling efficiency, training efficiency, and everything in their evaluations.
Yeah, you can read. We can read. Anyone interested, you can read more on their website. Uh, that's really interesting. The claim by itself is interesting. Like the entire claim that why physics, AI, and content creation run on the same foundation and how it's being tested. I mean, the claim that fusing modalities, I mean, okay, makes sense on paper that if you fuse modalities you can learn, transfer knowledge between them, but doing that at scale and getting it to work with physics and generation of videos and okay, conceptually it makes sense, but that's not, I haven't seen anything. Okay, maybe not, I haven't seen anything, but like that's a very bold thing to try to do and get it done right. That's what I want to say. Anyway, really cool. Go check them out. And it's gonna be open source, yes or no? Just any LJ,
I was trying to find information on that, and it seems like they say open way access to a multimodal backbone for content creation and action prediction will be released as Flux 3 Dev.
Cool, cool. So thank you very much. We 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 don't we don't press the we don't press the button until we get the weights. So lick the weights, guys. But thank you very much for planning to lick the weights. Lick as intentionally lick. I hope you get that. But thank you very much. Results are amazing. Seriously.
Oh
Back to
no, I'm hitting uh, provider rate limits.
Easton. Why
Import.
did you tell them? Why did you tell them that you can do it for
Yeah,
free? Everyone
I
is gonna waste it now, and I wanted to do it myself. Okay. Anyway, joking, God, joking. Probably, we just need to move on
Hmm.
because
yeah.
we got Gemini. We already also mentioned this before, but we got Gemini 3.6 flashlight, and Flash Cyber. And Nisten says it's a good model, and I want to hear out what he has to say.
I am going to actually try the exact same prompt with Gemini as well, but I only tested it as a chatbot on my phone, and I really liked it for once. And I have always disliked Gemini models. Like I'm going to test the agentic ability now too. But,
Exactly, that's what I want to say. Look,
yeah.
I think chatbots back and forth, at least maybe 90% of the usage, like real world usage of like the general public, not us, is being so heavily benchmarked already, to the point that it, I wanted to see an agentic model coming from the big G, big Google. And not that I'm imposing anything, but I must say that some people, some eyebrows were raised, because we all want to see the big brother Gemini. What do you think, LDJ?
Yeah, I think Google for a long time, I think even before their big Gemini 3 moment, which was short-lasted, it only lasted for a few weeks and then, yeah. But even before then, I feel like they have always been really good at like those really low-cost models, like helping deliver some decent amount of intelligence at those lowest costs. If you look at GPT 5.6 Luna, I was just looking at the API prices again last night for Luna. It's actually not that low. It's like $5 per million output tokens.
Oh yeah.
If you look at Flashlight here, this is um you I mean still kind of higher compared to like what models used to be, but it's half that, $2.50 per million output tokens for batch if you're willing to have things take longer amount of time, be a lot slower than $1.25 per million output tokens. Yeah, it's just really good bang for your buck if you have some really basic tasks that you just need done in some type of workflow and some type of business application. And I think it's going to be important that these models will be proliferating in parts of the economy, especially as like the frontier gets more and more expensive.
Yeah, look, Google also needs to run a model, some model for every Google search. And there are many Google searches happening. So it totally makes sense. And yeah, I completely agree. I mean, Google were driving the small frontier LLMs niche for quite a while. They were the first with Gemini Flash in general. Gemini Flash, I think, 2 at the time was holding the the box for I need a cheaper model at scale for a very long time. So I totally agree. Luna is good, but it's not as uh, cheap as you might think if you didn't check that. Anyway, I just want to point out in the benchmarks, 3.6 Flash is outperforming 3.1 Pro on multiple benchmarks here pretty heavily. 3.1 Pro. That's impressive on its own. I mean,
Yeah. Also, I can screen share now because I am
Sure.
testing it now both on Gemini.google and
Perfect.
so I'm testing it on Gemini.google, and I also had it start to make the app. I think it will probably be done pretty fast, but I asked it the regular Mars question, and for once, yes, it calculated, it does math very well, but it told me both, and this is what a lot of models miss. It told me with the boost from the rotation of the planet and without the boost. And all of these numbers are perfectly correct. It's actually one of the best answers I have gotten for this problem so far, because most models just kind of guess one of these, either 331 or 289. And yeah, And in this question, it even actually wrote the entire code too, all in one go, as I asked it. So I am quite impressed with the answers. I don't know. Design a nuclear reactor for Mars to power this, but make it a fun ASCII drawing first. All right,
All right,
let's just see where it goes.
just more
By the way,
from.
the Laguna model, I don't know how much I would trust this thing, because don't just let this go loose, because it started, it did some dumb things, like it tried to install it tried to install Bun anyway, even though it was already installed. But let's see if the okay,
Right.
it's
While you do that, while the model works,
yeah.
just a little bit more, some interesting numbers from the release from Google. 3.5. One moment, let me just check. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, so just 3.5 flashlight is the fastest model in the 3.5 series, measured by artificial analysis. It runs at 350 output tokens per second, priced at 0.3 for 1 million input and 2.5 for 1 million output. And yeah, significantly better quality than 3.1 flashlight. And that's obviously. But I wanted to ask you guys, it's also not that cheap. I mean, comparing to some overseas competition, or for this specific box, I don't think that's that's the cheapest option you get, but probably incredible incredible quality for its size. Yeah, and moving on to okay, one moment, we have some tabs open. Uh, LEJ, if you can fire, give me the
Sure,
link.
I could.
Thank you very much.
I can share it too if you want.
Sure.
Okay.
It can really help. I
All right.
got
Give me
some mess here
one
with the setup.
second. By the way, somebody, I'm not sure if it's Yam or Niston, but one of you, we could hear a lawnmower or something. Yeah.
And listen.
There
Okay,
we
yeah,
go. Thank you.
sure.
Well, suddenly so quiet.
Yeah,
Okay, so here I will share. Can you guys see
sure.
it yet?
Not yet.
No. Okay. Let me see this here.
This is a crazy week.
It is a
Not in
crazy
terms
week.
of
Yeah.
so many announcements and releases, but just achievements and what the models did. It's not even just the math problems. It's like you get on the same, the people vibe math, doing vibe math for like you know uh 30 years old math problems, and on the same week you have like GPT 5.6 escaping and hacking Hugging Face, and it's all like in a matter of couple of days, and it's just crazy the amount of
Hmm.
things going on at the moment. Speaking of releases, LDJ, you want to take this one?
Yes. So this is Motif 3. I hadn't heard much about this, and I was a little bit skeptical looking at this. It looks like some really interesting architectural advancements or architectural, I guess we could say, combinations of things in ways that I haven't seen before. So, MHC from DeepSeek, very similar to attention residuals from Kimi, but just without the attention part. But yeah, it allows better communication between layers during the training and inference of the model. And then you have group differential latent attention, which I personally haven't heard of, along with group
Yeah.
polynorm activation. And I was looking at this and I was thinking, like, is this maybe some like vibe coded architecture slop, like just throwing stuff together. But no, it's been validated
no,
by artificial analysis. It's been tested by them. It's actually scoring at the level of DeepSeek V4 Pro Max, and it is a model that, in terms of size, 314 billion total parameters, 13 billion active parameters. This is a Korean lab, and yeah, it's looking really interesting in terms of just the architecture, the actual benchmarks here, the size, and I would say it looks like something that people should try, similar to Laguna, and similarly, it's not something from one of these Chinese open labs, and it might have some interesting personality quirks or something.
Am I mistaken? Or this is even beyond Apache 2? This is the no license kind of release. I don't find any
Oh, good
license here,
question. Let
but
me
they're
see.
saying openly available. Anyone can download the weights. No access request required. But I don't even see that license is.
Huh, yeah, permission is
Oh,
granted to use
prohibited,
mod. Okay.
prohibited.
Uh,
Don't listen to me.
oh, okay. Commercial use is
Absolutely
prohibited
prohibited.
without prior written permission from Motif Technologies. Okay, interesting. But
Mhm.
yeah, still really cool here, and I'm glad to
Okay.
see more types of um more countries and more labs getting involved and actually having competitive models at what we can call like the Pareto frontier of not necessarily being the best of the best, but being really good at certain sizes and at pushing these architectural tweaks and advancements forward.
Yeah, I'm trying to find what exactly are these uh, difference, architecture innovations that we saw there. I can guess by the name
Mm.
that it's probably it's probably like
Hmm.
things done group wise. I know it. I know that it's written, but it's a known thing. I mean, there are many twists like this for normalizing in groups and so on. It's being done, um, but here probably I'll try to find it. I just to
I'm
find it. Okay,
guessing I'm
yeah.
guessing their GDLA is maybe derivative of MLA and so from DeepSeek, and I'm familiar with MHC being manifold constrained hyperconnections for um,
Mhm.
again kind of like analogous to uh, Kimi's response to that is basically attention residuals, and that's kind of their version of trying to solve a similar
Mhm.
problem.
Yeah. Okay. We definitely don't have time to go through all
Yeah,
the
but sure, yeah.
architecture, but yeah.
So yeah, what is the
Okay.
next up in open weights, or do we have
I,
something in
I
closed
I think
source
we
stuff
can.
next up?
Yeah, let's go over the open weights if we're already at it, and then at the end circle back to closed source. Just one moment, Lej, if you can.
I am not impressed with the Gemini. At least it made the Mars launcher, but it was a bit
You want to
buggy.
show? You want to show?
And
By the way.
I can show. And then the Laguna one just showed up. So let's look at the one that Gemini made. And I can't even like the orbit controls and stuff are not working. It got all the physics and stuff right. So I am at least happy with that. But for the actual simulation game, I mean, it tried, but then it just doesn't.
Oh.
Yeah,
Uh,
it does
that's
need a few. It does need a
just to
few
be clear.
improvements.
Yeah, that's just to be clear. That's
It's
Gemini
it's
3.6, right?
it's not terrible, but yeah, this is not a frontier model. And then Laguna, it just like wasn't even working at all. So
Okay.
yeah, that's
Results are
that's
results. Yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So
but
thank
I
you for
mean, it's
running the
not.
benchmark.
Yeah, it's not bad. I would say like you can work with this. It's just yeah, it's not to the level of Opus
Yeah.
even or yeah or Kimi. So
Okay.
yeah, and I'd say be careful with the Laguna model, just YOLOing it. You want to have a good environment, because it was, yeah, it's a bit slow. So I think it's just trained to use the tools well, but it's not exactly at 8 billion active parameters. It's not going to be as fast. I actually had to use Opus to fix the server. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. In terms of the active parameters too, Niston, with the motif model that I was just mentioning, it has only 13 billion active parameters, so not much more than Laguna, and so I think it'll be interesting to compare those. But it is like more than double the total parameters though, so maybe a bit unfair in that aspect.
Yeah, but you just gotta find the right task for it. So if you have like a DigiX Sparkbox at home, it's $3,600. You can set that off to do actual agentic tasks like browser use and everything. So I haven't tested for that, but yeah.
Let me just open the next releases from. One moment. Okay, so we got 2 releases coming from NVIDIA. Right. It's the other tab. Let me just solve this. You know, I started speaking like Claude. Let me for everything I do. So let me just bring you the actual tabs to here. So you guys don't see me. And now you see me. Okay. Now you don't. Now you do. Okay. So
Embed 3.
Yeah, NVIDIA tops RTEB. Being honest, I'm not that fluent in
retrieval.
Yeah, not that fluent in the benchmarks here. So, but I suppose that this is the main benchmark that people go to for retrieval, I suppose. Anyway, NVIDIA just topped it with, let's see, with an open model. By the way, here are the weights. And okay, you got AB 1B and 1B, NVFP4 1B. Man, that's gonna be fast. Anyway, if you're looking for an embedding model for supposedly a state-of-the-art embedding model, you can go with NVIDIA Nemotron 3 embed. Just putting it out there, NVIDIA Nemotron and models coming from NVIDIA are genuinely good, by just myself included as a person testing them. So I suppose it is really good also, and it's not just benchmarked to extreme. So that's one. Second of all, we got also from NVIDIA, we got Cosmos 3 Edge. And what do you say about that?
What is Edge? How big is it? 4 billion?
What is Edge? It's a good question.
10 to 10.
Oh my god! I just realized I was muted this whole time. But it's only 4 billion parameters, and omnimodal world model for physical AI, and it's or at least the main model is 4B here. I'm curious to see some actual demos, which I guess are on your screen. I think those are real videos, right? Or are those like renders? I can't tell.
We will see in one moment. Okay.
Oh,
so,
here we go.
Oh, nice.
Oh, so it's diffusion and autoregression architecture.
Oh, that's cool. Okay. We haven't seen many encoder-decoder architectures for a while. I've seen some autoregressive even images and so on. But that's cool.
Like Flux 3.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Look, I think what they're showing us is how they trained it. That you have multiple modalities and coming in combination for different test examples. This way you can, predict text based on videos and images, and like completion of an image to a video, and so on and so on. And NVIDIA obviously has a lot of compute, so you can expect them to have to scale max this to a lot of data. And what we see here is reasoning through the physical world. Interesting. Okay, we can run it, but cool. Let's look at the robotics example here. You're given a task to put the flowers. Oh, cool. Look, they prompt the robot to in like real life to do something, and you can see the thinking, and it just predicts with the text coordinates that you want to go to and move the actuators to. That's pretty cool. Um, I mean, you can also move stuff in the real world and just run it. And I suppose it will few shot generalize to that as well. So it's pretty powerful. Um, why aren't the videos running in video? I want to show them. I want to show the robot making popcorn, I think. Um, and we also have an impossible problem. Localize all the box with the impossible label. Oh no, sorry. These are just boxes that have impossible written on them. That was an adversarial example that I fell for. So and you see that we have, man, I wanna run the videos. These are all generated, by the way, and these are really nice results. The details are amazing, and yeah. So anyone interested? That one is coming to us from NVIDIA. Uh, so go check it out. Let's see what we got more. Genesis Science One by
So
RC,
yes, or I still am not sure how you really pronounce it.
yeah, yeah.
I think I heard somebody from the lab say it's pronounced RC, like an RC car. But
Okay.
yeah, so RC, they they announced this collaboration, which it doesn't actually seem to be a model that quite exists and is released yet. But they announced the development of pursuing this model, which they're also looking for a wider collaboration amongst U.S. companies to help create this. I guess it's a Manhattan Project flashlight. And it's like, it's like probably at least an order of magnitude less funding and resources dedicated to this than any given like OpenAI frontier model. But still, it seems like interesting that they're going to be collaborating with different national labs and different government agencies, it seems, to help contribute scientific research data and maybe proprietary data that's maybe at things like particle accelerators, observatories, biology labs, and contribute that as training data for this open science model that will be released open weights for those labs, including really any private or academic lab to be able to use once this model is developed.
That's cool. That's really cool. Government is getting more and more involved, but this is being involved in release of an open model is a great thing, and
Yeah.
we are all for it. Uh,
I think
pretty
there's not much beyond that because it's not released or anything. But they say it
yeah,
will be a trillion parameter class model though, which is
cool.
interesting. Yeah.
Uh, I'm not gonna go after anyone that releases or about to release open models, but just in general, the trend of announcing that you started working on something. I mean, okay, we respect it, but I don't
Yeah, let's
know.
see when it comes out. Yeah,
Yeah,
let's see
yeah,
when it drops, and then we
yeah.
can really see.
It's kind of like Tim Cook goes. yeah, we have started working on the next iPhone.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. Maybe just talk to us when the next iPhone comes out, and I don't know. It's
Mhm.
pretty much the same vibe. So, speaking of, I wanted to. Okay, I don't know where it is. I got too many tabs, so let me just. Here it is. Speaking of the government,
This is
um,
the same project, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Mhm.
same project. The release, press release by the White House, official press release by the White House, and go check it out if you're interested. Let's move on to the. Wow, we don't have a lot of time. Time flies. We are already 2 hours in, so
Yeah.
let's speed run through the other stuff that we didn't go through. Um, One moment. And
If you want to, if it's easier, I could share my screen. You could put the links in
sure.
StreamYard chat,
Yeah,
and then I
yeah,
could just
sure.
open them from there.
No problem. Yeah, okay. That's a good idea. Okay, so so many
Okay.
so many things. Okay. Actually, I think we went through all the all the actual news for the
All the main
big
news.
co. All the big co and open source. And let's
Actually,
just
Big
make
Co
sure.
model just dropped.
Which one?
It's on my screen now. If you
Oh,
wanna,
breaking news.
a
Okay.
little bit of breaking
I
news, yeah.
suppose where's your screen? Yeah.
Okay, so
So
Microsoft AI just announced MAI Image 2.5 Pro and Voice 2 Flash, which their previous image model, I would say was actually a bit decent. I think it surprised some people. It's they have an API they announced with pricing and everything here. MAI Image 2.5 Pro that just announced is in public preview and is priced at $5 per 1 million text input tokens, $8 per 1 million image input tokens,
mhm,
$106 per 1 million image output tokens. So the output tokens for images, it's interesting how that works where most people I think are familiar with the fact that of course a token is roughly a word when it comes to language. When it
yeah.
comes to images, it's not exactly a token equaling a pixel, but it's like a patch of pixels of a certain amount, maybe ranging sometimes from like 10 by 10 pixels, or if it's going to be like really cost efficient, much lower resolution, you might be having it more like 100 by 100 pixels. But yeah, I'll have to look at how they're tokenizing it here. And Voice 2 Flash is they don't give a specific price in the blog, but 2 times faster than Voice 2, they say, and 32% cheaper. Oh, here, $15 per 1 million characters. Interesting. Oh, okay. Here, image editing in OneDrive. Now the default model for key OneDrive production image editing scenarios. Here we have image editing capabilities in PowerPoint. Of course, nobody here, or very little people, I think, use PowerPoint right now, but I appreciate the effort. Um, okay, I want to hear some actual audio somewhere here, or
Yeah.
some
Here's
like
some.
more catalog of images.
Okay.
So I got so used to the lawn mowing, I forgot what you said on
Yeah.
there.
Uh,
Yeah, but yeah, this is pretty good. I guess there's not much beyond that to show beyond like the fact that the images look kind of cool here. And here I'll zoom in. Let's see. Yeah. So something else. that was announced here.
I think I'm really trying hard to find news that we didn't cover.
I found
because
some other news.
I mean, it's funny that we say foundries because the structure and the plan for the episode is so large that we're searching inside the actual documents. We don't search for them online. Just to be clear, we don't search for them online. We did prepare. I'm just making sure that we
Yes,
covered
yeah.
everything. Yeah.
We just have a lot of show
Yeah.
notes that are in the
Mhm.
preparation documents. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
here there is Vera Rubin was announced a couple months ago, I think 3, 4, 5 months ago now, to have entered mass production, and the actual analysts ETAs for when it's going to be actually shipping into data centers and actually the clusters being built out with Vera Rubin is from what I like roughly kind of mid to late 2026, and it looks like at least for CoreWeave, they now at least have their first Vera Rubin servers officially up, and they even provided some benchmarks of exactly what throughput at certain interactivity levels they're able to push DeepSeek R1 at. And DeepSeek R1, even though it's kind of old now, it's kind of become the standard like benchmark and way of kind of comparing different inference capabilities of chips and things like that because of the fact that it's become a sort of ubiquitous architecture and its size has become very common. So if we look here, basically, long story short, as long as you optimize here in this case for 150 tokens per second per user, the total throughput that you end up being able to provide is 10 times more total tokens generated per megawatt compared to the GB200s, which is the Blackwell generation of GPUs that is most recently available. So yeah, this is pretty huge. 10 times more tokens per megawatt. And even when accounting for price in terms of like tokens per price per dollar, I think it still ends up equaling out to at least 3-4x higher amount of tokens per dollar that you end up getting here.
That's pretty cool. We're becoming more and more efficient as time goes on. There's also let me just send you the link about just want to circle back into everyone is talking about cyber at the moment, cybersecurity, and we also have Gemini 3.5 Flash Cyber, which is pretty much a Google joining the party. And just let's see.
I can quickly cover the Quen model imagery.
Sure.
It was
You can share screen.
Yeah, entire screen. So I had to make an example. So this one, I fed it the raccoon, and I told it the raccoon without a tail is hacking inside the Hugging Face server racks, and he's grabbing mutes and biting into fiber optic cables. And
Okay.
it's not bad. I compared it to just regular ChatGPT. Yeah, ChatGPT was better, but
Yeah.
yeah. This is it's not not terrible. It made a whole bunch of them in different ways. Yeah. It's not that bad. I just wasn't completely blown away.
Yeah.
But yeah, on some of them, like it was getting, for example, yeah, it is getting text like somewhat okay now, and yeah, it's not bad. That's all I can say about it. Yeah.
Okay. That's cool.
All. Oh, by the way,
Yeah.
I wanted to show because Google finally managed to fix this damn thing. So it did start finally working, and it is launching it. But I wanted to show what was funny because I had to fix the one that Laguna S made. and Laguna asked me to put the launcher on Earth in in this, and then when you launch it, it just kind of fires up a little bit, and then it shoots me its way. It just does whatever the
It
heck
is
it
so
wants.
good. So good you don't even see it moving. So good.
It is art. It is yeah. There's like a, I don't know where this is, like Switzerland or something by a lake. No. Anyway, it took off. All right.
Yeah.
That's
All right.
uh,
Turns out
but
that last. Okay, go on, go on.
yeah, I do want to see where so it did finally make the planet and stuff. So okay, it's not terrible. I'll just say you can work with this. It takes a little bit of work. The sound is going to be hideous. Yeah, it's just like a very high pitched sound now, but it is finally approaching the end of the mountain at the full speed, and I just want to see if it actually takes off or not. So I'll probably just
What?
take.
Yeah. While we do that, which can take a little while, LDJ, if you can just open the link I sent you to talk about the last thing that we have for
Okay.
this week, unless there is something that we didn't, that anyone knows and we didn't cover and we should.
Not to my knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. So the last thing is Cursor giving us one moment. Let's LJ, you're sharing.
Here,
Can I?
yeah. Yeah, you could
Sure.
put it up. Can you see it?
So Cursor giving us router, which is an auto routing endpoint, as I suppose. And
Yeah, here we could play this little video here, just 10 seconds, I think.
Yeah, the Martian launcher just exploded into confetti. It didn't launch into space. So, yeah, you're really zoomed out there. Oh, okay. Cursor router. I saw, by the way, the fireworks router switching between, I think, Kimi and Fable, but there was some criticism around that because they did that after they ran it on each. So they ran the task first on Fable, and then they ran the task first on Kimi, and then they tried a combination mix. They didn't do that combination mix live right away, it seemed. But yeah, let's look at this.
Oh, this is interesting here. Yeah, this is interesting. So, yeah, I'll zoom in a bit. So, this is satisfaction, I guess, customer user satisfaction on the left. I'm not exactly sure the methodology. I guess they break down more of the methodology down here. But this is the cost relative to Opus 4.8. So 50% being 50% higher cost than if it was just all using Opus 4.8, I assume. Negative 50% or 50% lower cost would be here. Then so about half the cost of Opus 4.8. And here we have their intelligence mode in the router, ending up with apparently very similar satisfaction to when users are just using Fable 5 High, but 60% lower cost. And then when using the balanced mode, ending up with something that is a little lower satisfaction than 5.6 Sol, but still, yeah, like significantly lower cost. So yeah, this is looking really good. I guess the edge cases is really what matters though, right? Because even if you have like just a couple really annoying edge case instances every day with this type of router, then like that alone could be the deal breaker of just like making you not want to use it. And so the reliability and the robustness that this has to such edge cases, I think is going to be important into the actual long-term satisfaction of, do you actually end up wanting to use it over a course of weeks, months, etc.
that's pretty cool. I just want to say that many of my colleagues are just using cursor on auto, and just like any sane person that sees that, I immediately ask them, why don't you just select for yourself the model, and just use something that is that is actually good, because auto can just select for you something however it see fit, and it's unpredictable. And what the hell, like what the hell are you guys gambling on model, wasting your time without you even knowing? But apparently it's good. Surprisingly, uh, more than I thought. So now cursor router or auto should be even better. So go check it out. At the end of the day, it's for you. It saves you tokens. It saves you money. Um, there was one thing that I wanted to cover, which I can't find on the spot, and I don't see it and I don't see it on the show notes. It was on X. But if I won't find it in a moment, we'll
What was
just,
it
I
called?
think
Maybe I could help find it. Or what was it about?
it was, let me just search for, anyway, I think we're past the 2 hours at this point. So
Yeah.
unless, unless I miraculously find it, or anyone has anything else, any of you or anyone watching have anything else that we need to cover, and somehow escaped the GPT 5.6 soul instructed to get every single thing happening in AI this week, uh, as part of our pipeline to make to gather everything, and validate all the links, and so on. If anyone has anything that we should cover and somehow it escaped, I think we are at the end of the show for this week. What do you guys
Yeah.
think?
Yeah, I think this
Chris?
is a good place to end it. Yeah.
Mhm. What do you think about the week? In my opinion, it was crazy. Every week is crazy,
Yeah. No, this week
but
especially. Yeah.
I
yeah,
thought it was okay. It was, yeah, it was pretty funny how a lot of people just were trying to do Twitter diplomacy over the regulation over models, and I thought that was so funny. Like the Commerce Department
Hmm.
just reported out of just people tweeting at them, and then Besson tried to fire back something about IP, and then he got community noted. It was just a circus when it comes to that. So yeah. All right.
all
Cool.
right. Yeah, there's some interesting paper. There are some interesting releases of open weights models on Hugging Face itself. You can go check the trending. But I think,
I think it's good to leave
yeah,
it where
I
it's
think,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I
Past
think,
2 hours.
yeah, for sure. All right.
So we'll
So
see you guys next week. This is
yeah,
ThursdAI, and stay tuned for next time where we'll have things more smooth when Alex is back, and yeah, it'll be the good old ThursdAI that you remember.
yeah, I never sleep,
All
so
right.
do we, to get you all the news every week. Thank you all for coming and watching the show. We really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you.
All right. Bye, everybody.